Hello friends, I am Gaurav and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to explain you the difference between the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. In this video, I am also going to explain you the need to study the difference of the eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cells. So please watch the complete video to get complete understanding of this topic. So let's begin. See, all the organisms present on the planet Earth are divided into two categories. Okay, the two categories of organisms are prokaryotic organisms and eukaryotic organisms. If you ask me the question that, sir, why we are divided the organisms in the two categories, then the explanation is because both the type of organisms have different kind of cells in it. Okay, the cell structures of that organisms is different. Prokaryotic organisms have prokaryotic cells in it, and the eukaryotic organisms have eukaryotic cells in it. The differences between the structures is explained in the upcoming slide, but now here you have to remember one point. Then that point is the prokaryotic organisms are the primitive type of organisms, and during the evolution of the life, first cells which were developed on the planet Earth was the prokaryotic cells. Okay, these are the first cellular organisms. Gradually, from the evolution process, from prokaryotic organisms, eukaryotic cells were developed. Okay, this is the eukaryotic cells is the result of the evolution of prokaryotic cell to the eukaryotic cell. The prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic organisms are very simple structures. Prokaryotic cell is very kind of primitive kind of cell type. So this structure is very simple and easy to understand. 3 points are given here about the prokaryotic organisms. These are three general points. First point is prokaryotic organisms are unicellular organisms. Then prokaryotic organisms lacks any membrane bounded structures. When you will see the prokaryotic organisms, you will not going to see any membrane bounded structures present in that cell. Okay, the third general point is the nucleus lacks nuclear membrane, because this nucleus is a primitive kind of nucleus. The primitive nucleus didn't have any membrane, nuclear membrane. Then if you have a question that where the DNA is present, then the DNA bundles together in the region. This region is called as nucleoid region. Okay, three general points I have explained you. First is prokaryotic organisms are unicellular, then these organisms lacks membrane bounded structures, and also the nucleus lacks nuclear membrane. Okay, this is kind of primitive nucleus, so it doesn't have any membrane. So and DNA is present or bundled together in the region called as nucleoid. Starting with the structure of the prokaryotic cell, the first layer of the cell, the first outer layer is called as capsule. The capsule is made up of carbohydrates. Okay. Remember, note down this point. Capsule is made up of carbohydrates, and it is the outermost layer and present outside the cell wall. It means that inside the capsule there is a cell wall. The cell wall, we have learned that the capsule is made from carbohydrates. Then the question is, cell wall is made from which type of material? Then the cell wall is made up of carbohydrates and proteins. The combination of carbohydrates and proteins uh, is called as peptidoglycans. This compound, from the peptidoglycan compound, cell wall is developed. Okay, and it is present in most of the bacteria. Cell wall, inside the cell wall there is a cell membrane, and the cell membrane is have function to stop the incoming particles, or to in simple words, cell membrane regulates the incoming and outgoing particles from the cell. The cell membrane stops the unwanted particles from getting entered to the cell, and also it stops the cell material from going outside the cell. Then the cell organelle, which is not membrane bounded but present in the prokaryotic cell, this is the ribosomes. Remember this point, ribosomes are present in the prokaryotic cells. Another type of structure which we have found in the prokaryotic cell is the fimbria. Fimbria are thin hair-like structures. Fimbria are thin hair-like structures which are present outside the capsule, and it has importance for the cellular attachment. Whenever the prokaryotic organisms want to attach any host cell, then the important structure is fimbria. This with the help of the fimbria, these prokaryotic organisms get attached to the host cell. Then after, the next structure is pili. Pili are the rod shaped structures. Okay, and what is the importance of pili? Then the pili are important for the attachment. Also, the main and the most important function of the pili is the transfer of DNA. We all know that the prokaryotic organisms gets attached to the host cell, and it replicates in that cells. For the replication, the prokaryotic organism must have to transfer their DNA. Then the DNA which is present in the cytoplasm of this prokaryotic cell get transferred through this type of pili in the host cell, where the DNA is going to be replicated. So the pili is the most important structure. So remember this pili, because the pili transfers DNA from the bacterium cytoplasm to the host cell. Then the next structure is flagella. Flagella is thin hair-like structure. See, this is the flagella, and this flagella is important for the movement of the prokaryotic organism. Okay, most of all these prokaryotic organisms are unicellular organisms. So this is a diagram of a prokaryotic organisms. So this flagella helps to move these unicellular organisms. The examples given below are bacteria and archaea. They are the two organisms which have prokaryotic cells. Okay, coming to the eukaryotic cell, the most important development was occurred during the evolution process. Nucleus gets its nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is the structure which is present around the nucleus. Okay, it covers the nucleus, protects the DNA. The important characteristics for the nuclear membrane is it protects the genetic material of an organism. During the evolution, this nuclear membranes gets developed, and the DNA is present inside this nucleus, and this form of the DNA is called as chromatin. Remember, what is the chromatin? Chromatin is the form of DNA present inside this nucleus. Okay, nuclear membrane uh, compose this DNA, and also the nucleolus is the region inside the nucleus where ribosomal RNA is produced. Ribosomal RNA is important for the building of ribosomes, and ribosomal RNA forms ribosome, and ribosomes are important for the protein synthesis, and proteins are important for the functioning of the complete human or any organism's body. Okay, So nucleolus is the region where ribosomal RNA is produced. So it is important, you have to remember this nucleolus region. Then cell membrane is also present in both eukaryotic and the prokaryotic organisms. The main important characteristics for the cell membrane is what I have explained, to permit or restrict any material which are going inside or going outside the cell. Cell membrane is made up of the phospholipid bilayer. Okay, you have to remember this. In the upcoming video, uh, if you wish, then I will explain the whole detailed structure of the plasma membrane. Okay, and cell membrane. It is the phospholipid structure. Then ribosomes are also present in the eukaryotic cells. Ribosomes are important for the protein synthesis in the cell. Okay. Another structure is the cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton is made up of microtubules, actin filaments, and intermediate filaments. This structure is a kind of uh, skeleton, like our bone skeleton, which is present in our body. The cytoskeleton is present inside the nucleus, and it provides the structural integrity to the cell. Okay, when the outer pressure is applied on the cell wall or the cell, then to protect it from rupturing, the cytoskeleton um, provides the cell some kind of rigidity. Okay, cell wall is present in the eukaryotic cell. It is the important point, but you have to remember that the cell walls are only present in the plant cells. Okay, and cell wall is absent in the animal cell. You have to remember this point is very important point, because the cell walls are present in the plant cells. The plants are rigid structures. It provides a rigidity to the cell. Okay, uh, the because animals don't have cell wall, their cells are very flexible in nature. Then the next structure we found in the eukaryotic cells are the cell organelles. Cell organelles are the nothing but these structures or some which are membrane bounded. The most important point is that these structures are the membrane bounded structures. Okay, and these membrane bounded structures are important to perform different kind of functions, like in human body or any organisms or animals body, different kind of uh, organs are grouped together and they perform different kind of functions. We call them as an organs. Okay, here also the same, some kind of structures are performing different type of functions which are very important for the living being. So these structures are called as the cell organelles. So cell organelles are present in the eukaryotic cell, and these cell organelles have membrane bounded around them. Okay, so this point is very important, and this is the main difference in the eukaryotic and the prokaryotic cells. First difference is presence of nuclear membrane around the nucleus, and the next point is presence of different membrane bounded cell organelles in the eukaryotic cell. Another structure present in the eukaryotic cell is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the region which is inside the cell membrane and outside the nuclear membrane. The complete region is called as the cytoplasm, and it is filled with the viscous fluid, and this viscous fluid is called as the cytosol. And cytosol has a very important characteristics because it provides some kind of shock absorbance to the eukaryotic cell or prokaryotic. In the prokaryotic cell, cytoplasm is also present and cytosol is also present. This viscous fluid provides shock absorbance to the various cell organelles present inside the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm contains various different kind of cell organelles, and it is the region inside the cell membrane up to the nuclear membrane. Then the another important structure we see in eukaryotic cell is mitochondria. Mitochondria is also called as powerhouse of the cell. Why the mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell? Because the food we consume and it is break down in our stomach and absorb in the blood of human body or any other let's say any other animal's body. These food particles are broke down again in this cell, and from that material our mitochondria produces energy in the form of ATP. Okay, ultimately our body uses ATP for their energy need. This ATP is nothing but the adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. There are three phosphates uh, bounded to the adenosine group. So breaking the last phosphate, some kind of mm, energy is produced. So this energy is used in for the different kind of activities in our body. So mitochondria plays a very important role. Then endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is the structure. This look at this structure. This is the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is important for the production of protein and also for the transportation of this protein, and the another function of it is the production of lipid, steroids and carbohydrates. Endoplasmic reticulum is two type of there are two types. First is the walls of the endoplasmic reticulums which have ribosomes attached to it is called as a rough endoplasmic reticulum, and we all know that the ribosomes are important for the protein synthesis. So ultimately the rough endoplasmic reticulum produces the protein and transport it to all over the cell. Then the reticulum where there are no ribosomes attached on their surface. So this type of reticulum is called a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and in this part the lipids, steroids and carbohydrates are produced. So another structures are present inside the eukaryotic cells are vacuoles and vesicles. Vacuoles are the empty empty spaces, empty chambers present inside the cell, and vesicles are the sac-like structures which are important for the storage or transportation of any kind of material. Okay, so to maintain rigidity, plant cell has very large vacuoles and vesicles, and these are the structures given below. These are commonly found in the eukaryotic cell, but it is not necessary that every eukaryotic cell has must have these structures. So these structures are present in some eukaryotic organisms and are absent in some another kind of organisms. So it differs from organism to organism. These structures include Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is this structure, and Golgi apparatus after Golgi apparatus there are chromoplasts. Chromoplasts are also very important cell organelle. It gives it is very important for the color appearance of that cell. Okay, then lysosomes are the another type of cell organelle which contains different kind of enzymes in it. Okay, then the next cell organelle is chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are very important for the photosynthesis in the plant cells. Okay, so chloroplasts are absent in the animal cells. That's why these organelles are present in the eukaryotic cell, but it is not necessary that these Four type of organisms are need to be present in all the eukaryotes. So to conclude, what we have studied today is uh, prokaryote and eukaryotes have some basic differences. First is of nucleus. In prokaryotes, nucleus is absent, and in eukaryote, nucleus is present. Then we have studied in prokaryote, membrane-bounded organelles are absent and present inside the eukaryotic cell. Talking about the cell structure, prokaryotes are always unicellular organisms, but eukaryotes are mostly multicellular, but some eukaryotes are unicellular organisms. And then talking about the cell size, eukaryotic cell is 0.125 micrometer in diameter, but the eukaryotic cell is very large in comparison to the prokaryotic cell. The eukaryotic cell goes to 10 to 100 micrometer in diameter. Then another point is DNA form. Circular DNA is present inside the prokaryote, and then linear DNA is present in the eukaryotic organism. So remember this basic difference of type of DNA, circular and linear. Then examples, we have seen some examples. Bacteria and archaea are examples of prokaryotic organisms. Then animals, plants, fungi, protists are the examples of eukaryotic organisms. Additionally, I want to tell you some importance of studying the cell structure. The first important point is, if you want to study the structure of the body, that is anatomy of the body, then you must have the detailed knowledge of the type of cells, because the cells group together to form tissue, and different kind of tissues group together to form the organs. So ultimately, if you want to study the different kind of organs, then you have to study different kinds of cells. So cell structure study plays an important role in the field of anatomy, also in the field of physiology, where we study different functions and working of the body. Then cell structure study also plays a very important role in the genomics and proteomics, because both are related to the genes. Okay, so genes produce different kind of proteins. So the functions and the structure of proteins uh, we have to study inside the proteomics. So cell structure of study plays is very important. First, you have to understand the structure of the cell, then you have to understand the functioning of the cell with the help of this genomics and proteomics. So another point is the development and growth of the human body. Okay, in the field of embryology, we have to study the cell fertilization, haploid, diploid cells. What are the haploid and diploid cells? The what is the fertilization process? To completely understand the development of any organism, the diseases which occur to any organisms likely to cause due to the pathogens like viruses or bacterium. First of all, you must have the detailed study of the cell structure, because these type of pathogens attacks on the cell and replicate themselves inside the cell. So to completely understand these given points, to study these points, you have to study the cell structure very carefully and in detail. So make sure that this video lecture you have watched, uh, make sure to remember all the points which I have explained to you, and make sure to watch the upcoming videos regarding the cell structures and the genetic material and proteomics and genomics. I hope you have completely understand the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. All the best for your future studies. If you have liked the video, please make sure to hit the like button and consider to subscribe our channel. Thank you.